Harry Potter on it's interesting watch if you're ADHD. Doesn't get the better of you. Fun interrogation.
Lauren told her friends multiple times that she felt
Fun
someone had been inside her
interrogation.
apartment, and she also started
The LGBTQ Twitch streaming community offer a lot of entertaining content worth checking out. Here are some people you should consider following. No one gives a fuck.
My wife, Michelle, is actually a man. Yeah, I mean, she used to have a big penis.
Bro, 36 minutes? This has nothing to do with ADHD, man. This is simply not realistic, alright?
Lauren had told her friends multiple times that she felt someone had been inside her apartment, and she also started getting an eerie vibe when she came back alone, especially late at night. It was as though she could sense something wasn't right, and she even thought about moving multiple times. But
I've actually already heard about this story. Nina told me about this. She must have watched the same video. He was like hiding in... He was living inside a wall or a closet. Right? Is it this one?
Hey Forsen, your only non-weed moderator Landon 144 has posted an album with options in the mod chat. Please check at your earliest convenience. Poggers.
Oh, okay. For the sub emotes, here's the 5 most used BTTV GIF emotes according to accurate observations. Sending popularity, meaning the top one is very popular, should definitely be upload. Okay. Alright, we'll
Fortunately, never went through with it. The reality was that Stephen McDaniel had stolen a master's key from a security guard and let himself into her apartment and looked around on several occasions.
Oh, this is not
he also started filming her when she would leave and return to her apartment during all hours of the day. Had Lauren been in this situation before, or even knew anyone that had, she may have trusted her intuition and unknowingly saved herself from a tragic fate. But that's the key word: trust. She had no proof of the danger she was in, only conviction, which unfortunately wasn't strong enough when it was most needed. Stephen McDaniel snuck into Lauren's apartment once more, only this time she was sleeping inside. As he crept into her bedroom, she awoke and immediately panicked once she saw the intruder. McDaniel then pounced on top of her and proceeded to strangle her for roughly 15 minutes. Lauren put up a courageous fight and clawed at her attacker's face and chest, but she was eventually overpowered and died of asphyxiation. After the murder, Stephen dismembered Lauren's body in the bathtub with a hacksaw. He cut his victim into 5 pieces, placed each piece in a trash bag, and then disposed of each of them in separate trash cans around campus. 3 days later, Lauren's concerned friends would arrive at her apartment and let themselves in with a spare key. McDaniel would notice from his window and invited himself inside as he offered to help. All of her belongings were still inside, including her cell phone, driver's license, and passport. A missing persons report was filed that night. A search party commenced the next morning, and police would discover the victim's torso at 9:40 a.m. It was placed in a trash can next to the apartment complex. The rest of the victim's remains were never recovered. The investigation was then switched from a missing person to murder. Police canvassed the surrounding area and began conducting interviews with neighbors and classmates, one of whom was Stephen McDaniel. But he was first interviewed by the local news, and at the time
so he
was
got the
unaware
key
that
from
part
like
of the
under
victim's
something,
remains had been
like
discovered.
under a doormat or under a pot or stone or something.
No one has seen her since Saturday. I mean, the last time anyone heard from her was an email that she sent out, and
no, he stole it.
No one's heard from her since.
What kind of person was she?
Oh, he stole a master key from the owner.
She's as nice as can be. I mean, very personable, very much a people person.
Do you know anybody any enemies she might have had, somebody that might want to hurt her?
No, we just don't know where she is.
What about in the parking lot area? I know they've been doing a lot of. I think that's where they have recovered the body or whatever they recovered from there.
Body.
Had you heard? Had you seen anything there? Had you seen anything there? I mean, we don't know if this is the same person. You know what I mean? Like, they took out a body there earlier. We don't know if it's the same person or not. that's how we're trying to ask people if they know who lived there. Are you okay, sir?
I was just gonna ask, like,
Okay.
wasn't it the first day?
This is most likely a genuine reaction disguised as another. He is most likely feeling a sense of fear and shock over the fact a substantial piece of evidence has been discovered, yet he plays it off as a feeling of sorrow over the loss of his supposed friend.
I don't know anyone that would want to hurt her. She was a nice person.
Oh, he looks...
There is.
Was she moving soon? Did you know anything about her?
Yeah, she was going to be moving out today. Why would anyone do this? Maybe I could have helped.
I mean, they went in, we looked around the place, no sign of a struggle, no
Why
sign
would
that anyone
anyone
had
do
broken in,
this?
just nothing.
He was interviewed by police at 11:50 a.m.
interesting he
and
can
offered
ask
to
this
help in any
question.
way he could, yet came across as fidgety
wonder
and
what his
apprehensive
actual
the
reasoning
entire
is.
time. There were two highlighted moments of the interview. The first was when Stephen asserted that he was a virgin, saving himself for marriage. The second was when the detective discovered scratch marks on his face and stomach, which he asserted were done by himself in his sleep. He at that point unknowingly became the prime suspect and was asked if police could search his apartment. Stephen reluctantly accepted and was then transported back to the complex with 4 other investigators. While searching his apartment, they discovered a collection of swords, guns, toilet rolls, stockpiled provisions as if he was expecting an apocalyptic event, and a mask made out of women's underwear. The most significant discovery, however, was a pack of condoms. Stephen was asked why he would have such an item in his possession if he was staying celibate before marriage, at which point he miraculously
This
confessed to
summer,
stealing
another
them from
racist
another
streamer
apartment.
reacts
This
to
gave
epic Connor's videos. Oh! Oh! Oh!
Whoa.
Oh, here's response.
Whoa. Whoa. L underscore. L underscore.
Yeah.
77,777. Oh. 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 H. 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 Oh. Oh. Whoa. Oh, I mean, G. L-Y-L.
Okay.
Whoa. Come on, bro. Oh.
Underwear. The most significant discovery, however, was a pack of condoms. Stephen was asked why he would have such an item in his possession if he was staying celibate before marriage, at which point he miraculously confessed to stealing them from another apartment. This gave the detectives probable cause for arrest, and Stephen was placed in handcuffs and brought back to the police station. His interrogation began just after 11 p.m.
He stole... Oh my god.
Alright.
You could have said, like, I like jerking off with condoms or something. Right? Like, what the fuck is this response?
A few questions. You came down earlier tonight, me and you talked, alright. You don't have any weapons on you, do you? That's just you are. What's wrong? You know Detective Patterson?
This video is a summary of Destiny's new
Remember us
DLC.
talking?
Don't worry, the songs here are Nuka-free. I know that you don't know anything about this dead dame Lolly. Also, the editing here is god tier.
Earlier tonight?
I believe you.
Right?
Not sure about the
You remember me
DMCA part.
earlier in the
But
day?
Yes.
We came down here and talked a little bit and then we left?
Yes.
Okay.
The monotone dialogue and lifeless demeanor you see here reportedly started on the drive back to the police station, and the suspect's conduct throughout the entire procedure is not only mystifying, but almost impressive. This is one of the most extraordinary pieces of interrogation footage to ever reach the public domain.
I need to know about this girl right here. You know her?
Yes.
Who is that?
Lauren Giddings.
Does she live next door to you?
Yes.
When's the last time you seen her?
2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay. Was you friends with Lauren?
Yes.
Look at me when you talk to me, son. Okay?
The suspect has morphed himself into this abnormal and extremely creepy character. Whether it's a strategy or some sort of mental breakdown is unclear. But what's incredible is that it somewhat dictates the pace of the interrogation. The detective has just closed the distance and commanded eye contact, both of which are recognized techniques to increase psychological pressure. Yet the absurdly haunting manner in which the suspect turns his head and fixes his gaze unnerves the detective to the point where he becomes the one to look away and reset his posture. This essentially never happens in interrogations, as it can give the suspect an incredible boost in confidence.
Look at me when you talk to me, son. Okay? Was you friends?
Tell me
Those friends?
you the
I mean, y'all were friends, right? Y'all were all students. You're studying to be an attorney, right?
Yes.
What kind of law do you want to go into? Criminal law?
Yes.
Civil? Is that what you want to do for a living?
Yes.
Okay.
The detective steps back from his initially aggressive strategy. He asks trivial questions for 35 seconds before attempting to ramp up the pressure in a more subtle manner.
And you've lived next to Lauren for a long time?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know where she's at tonight?
No.
Hmm?
No.
Have you ever seen her with that dress on?
No.
You have no idea where she's at?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, what?
Look, just tell me what happened, brother.
I don't know.
Well, where's she at?
Just
I
tell
need
me
you.
what
I'm
happened,
asking
bro.
you for your help. I'm a detective, and I'm asking you for your help. Can you help me?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You can't help a friend out?
I don't know what you need.
I need to know where Lauren's at.
I don't know.
Do you even care that no one can find her?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know, do you?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't get all these arrows. Like, he's looking away.
What's up with the pair of underwear that was in your apartment?
I
That was
don't
like a
know.
mask. It was cut out like a mask. Do you cut underwear out to look like mask?
No.
Are you a knife collector or a knife person, or
No.
you just like knives?
I used to collect swords.
I mean, do you know your swords?
Yes.
I mean, to sell and trade swords?
No.
Is that how Lauren looked with the long hair the last time you seen her?
Yes.
Or did she cut? That's how she looks.
Yes.
I wonder if it would be fun to be a
Earlier today, me and you
detective.
sit here and talk normal. What's going on with you now? Why are you acting like this? I need to know. Why all of a sudden you're acting like this?
It isn't.
I don't understand.
Are you a detective?
Okay. Earlier today we sat here and talked. But now you're acting like you don't know what's going on.
I mean, in NA, it would probably be a lot of weird, interesting stuff.
Something happened or something to you? I mean, why are you shutting down?
Why would
are
you want
not
to be a
talking?
detective over a streamer on Twitch?
I don't know.
I didn't say that.
No? Are you scared?
I just wonder if it would be interesting.
No.
I mean, you're not scared, are you?
No.
Stephen's demeanor doesn't waver for the first 20 minutes, so the detective
Fun.
eventually takes a more distinctly aggressive approach. He attacks the subject's character
Interesting
to see
is
if it
fun,
might
is it
coax
not?
him out of the act and into defending his dignity.
You got your ass.
Whenever you say, do you want to hear a fun fact? The other person expects something interesting, right? Otherwise, it's not a fun fact.
fucking news and stood out there and gave a media report that her mother saw about her missing daughter. And you want me to sit there and tell you
I
what
can't
you
watch
know?
36 minutes of this. Is there like
Is that what you want me to tell them?
bro?
Because you're all over the news. You sure stood out there and ran your mouth to the news media But now you're gonna get out here and you don't fucking know. You know. You're just a sorry piece of shit that don't give a fuck.
He just stares and
Right.
says yes and no. Yeah, that's what I love.
Well, why'd you tell the media everything? Do you need to see what you told the media today? It was on the 11 o'clock news. Well, I'm asking you. Tell me. I want to know.
I don't know where she is.
That ain't what you told the media. You didn't stand in front of that camera and say, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Are you watching these videos to pick up
I
some
need
tips
you to
for
tell
when
me
you are
what
finally
and
caught?
Tell her mother.
Yeah, I'm inversing this guy.
I'm not going to tell her mother that you don't know, because her mother saw you on the news tonight, and she cried all the way down to Macon, because you had the balls to get on the news and tell everybody everything. So this little act that you're doing right now ain't working with me. Okay? So you need to snap out of it and tell me what the hell happened, so we can move on.
Does he confess at one
I
point?
don't know.
Well, how many times you gonna say I don't know?
Just this guy's just I don't know. I don't know.
How many
I don't
times
know.
you gonna say it? If you did something that you regret, you need to let me know.
I didn't.
Well, who did?
I don't know.
Whether it was planned or not, the second detective enters the room with a similar strategy of immediate aggression. Rapport development seems to have been collectively thrown by the wayside.
Alright, don't make me any more stuff though.
Did you talk to him about his guns?
I got links.
When was the last time you shot those guns?
I haven't.
You've never shot a gun?
No.
Have you ever shot any gun in your whole life?
No.
Never.
No.
Yeah, right.
So you bought 3 guns that you've never
It's like the
shot.
bar mitzvah of Americans, dude.
Why?
To have.
For what?
To have.
For what? I'm asking for what? Why do you want to have them? What makes, did they give you, I mean, tell me why it's important to you to have 3 guns. That's an easy question. Come on, talk to me, buddy. Me and you talked all day today. We ain't had a problem communicating. Why is it important for you to have 3 guns? Do you not know?
No.
You say you don't know where Lauren is, right?
Right.
You told me earlier you and Lauren were friends, right?
Yes.
How would you describe y'all's relationship?
She was my friend.
She was your friend. What did you ever do things for her? Did she ever do things for you? What did she ever do for you?
We talked.
We talked. What y'all talk about?
News.
The news. Okay. How many times have you been in her apartment with her hanging out?
I don't know.
I mean,
You don't
just
know?
fucking check his phone if he actually has her as a contact, you know,
If you had to guess,
at all,
what would you s-
or
I mean,
any social
1 time,
media
2
or
times,
whatever.
3 times,
Like,
what?
they can't they, with probable cause or anything?
Maybe 2. See, if I had only been somewhere twice, I could remember that. If I had been there over 50 times and you asked me how many times I've been, like, I don't know, I lied.
Oh, it's
The fact that
2011.
you've only been there twice, when I say how many times you've been there, you say you don't know.
I guess, yeah.
That's just odd to me.
People talk more in real life
Does
than
that make sense to you?
Yes.
That does make sense. So what I'm saying right now makes sense.
No.
but not really.
Lauren's missing. This pretty little girl right here, your neighbor, she's missing.
Much like Detective 1, Detective 2 now valiantly moves in for the psychological charge. He closes the distance and locks eye contact. His physical demeanor, alongside a prolonged gaze, will hopefully crack the suspect's fortified barrier. Once broken, the momentum will commence and the suspect will be more likely to divulge incriminating information. All the detective has to do is maintain eye contact for longer than his adversary. It's a psychological battle of attrition between two opposing forces, and these moments can sometimes last for minutes on end.
I know.
He broke it right away.
It was no different than when you was a little kid, right? And you reached in that cookie jar and you got caught after your mama told you not to get that cookie. And she was, did you get a cookie? No. And whenever you tell a lie, you feel bad about it right then. One, with every lie, there's a chance you're going to get caught. And that weighs on you. Because you know you did something bad. Am I right?
What the fuck?
I didn't do it.
You didn't take the cookie?
No.
You smell like you've been cleaning up, like you've been using cleaner to clean up. I know what that smells like. My wife smells like that all the time when she cleans her house. You've been using some kind of cleaner to clean up your apartment, haven't you?
No.
You telling me you live it like a man? How does your apartment get cleaned?
I cleaned it.
When was the last time you cleaned it, Stephen?
I don't remember.
Was it this week?
No.
You mean
Wife
you go a whole
smells
week
like
without
cleaning a
cleaning?
dead body.
Yes.
Why? That's horrible, Stephen. I don't know how else to say it, Stephen. Let me tell you what I think. I think that she was a friend of yours. Look at her right here. I think that she was a friend of yours. And I think something happened, Stephen. You used to watch her come in and out of her apartment, didn't you?
No.
Well, how y'all doing?
We're just talking. See that pretty girl right there?
Yes.
You telling me you looked at a pretty girl like that and you never once thought, ever, man, she looks good. You never thought that?
He doesn't say anything.
What do you mean you don't understand? You know how when you're sitting there you see a girl walking down the road? And you say, man, that girl looks good. You ever see a good looking girl on the road and you think to yourself, man, that girl looks good?
Yes.
You never thought that about her?
Yes.
So you mean to tell me you look at porn on the internet and get off to that, but you never looked at her and said, man, I wonder what it'd be like to have sex with her?
Yes.
You have?
No.
Stephen, this is hard, buddy. I know this is hard. And I can tell it's on you. You want to let it go. There's blood in your apartment, Stephen. You didn't get it all up.
This is the widely recognized futility technique.
Is this allowed to say?
Which is used to make the subject believe it is useless to resist due to the overwhelming evidence
They're allowed to lie?
against them. It's most
To
effective
bluff,
when
rather,
the
is the
interrogator can
better
play
word.
on doubts that already exist in the subject's mind. The only problem here is that Stephen didn't dismember Lauren inside his apartment. It all happened in Lauren's apartment, so the detective's bluff is already called at this point.
It didn't all come off. You scrubbed and you wiped. But we can tell that. Don't you watch CSI?
CSI.
Yeah, we know it. Stephen,
Steven.
why is there blood in your bathroom?
The detective now completes
What a fucking imbecile. Like, also pinpointing the exact room, right?
completely shifts his strategy from confrontational and aggressive to sympathetic and understanding. He attempts to create a connection and then afford Stephen a more socially acceptable
If you want to
reason
bluff,
for the
be as
crime.
vague as
This
possible.
is extremely difficult to pull off after a direct confrontation, as there is no established rapport nor trust. The usual routine is the exact opposite. You would first build rapport and then get aggressive once a connection has been attained.
I wanted to give you an opportunity to tell it. I wanted to be here with you to go through that process because I know you're not a monster, man. I know you're not a bad guy. You're just a hard-working student trying to pass a bar exam, ain't you? You ain't got a lot of support from
Does
your
this
family.
basic psychology actually
Dude,
ever work?
The strategy fails at the first hurdle. Stephen immediately shuts down the afforded sympathy and reasoning behind the alleged crime, which was the concept of unsupportive parents. But the detective now attempts to roll with it.
Fuck.
A lot of people can't say that. And the fact that you do have support from your family should make things easier because your family wants to feel
It's
like they
used
raised somebody
for
that
a
tells
good
the truth
reason.
and is honest, right?
It's used against normal people who, you know,
Come on, the
impulse
for
murder.
some fucking balls. Let's go, lads. We're breaking it home.
Oh my God.
I guess
Forsen, help me. Forsen, stop watching this video. I'm going to come so fucking hot.
H.
I was going to say that it probably works on normal people for like manslaughter or impulse, you know, murders. I don't know what fucking degree that is in America, whatever it's called. But I feel like it's completely useless against psychopaths, right? And you can clearly tell from the start that this guy is a fucking
You
psychopath.
heard that girl, Stephen?
Like, you didn't mean to do it, you know. He doesn't have a conscience that
Have
weighs
you
him
ever heard
down.
anyone, Stephen?
Dukalal, 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 dukalal.
I've made mistakes in my life. It's not even normal to say you've never hurt anybody.
This guy's taking a lot of
Sometimes people
fucking
get
shit
mad. They
breaks.
say things they don't mean to say. It hurts. You never kicked a dog or a cat?
The lead detective then asks non-confrontational questions for almost 30 minutes, which is most likely to see if it will change the suspect's demeanor and the manner in which he responds. But it doesn't. Stephen maintains the same lifeless disposition which he has now kept up for almost 90 minutes.
You know what's crazy? I was talking to people that he works with and everything. They talk about how he's always expresses himself.
But he don't know.
He's very talkative. Stephen, they say you're so talkative, buddy, that you're always so friendly. You stop in and say hello, and you talk. Why is it that you're acting so short with us tonight? If you have...
He just doesn't talk anything. Like,
Saw
you
was
just
found
know.
in a supply closet of the apartment complex, and it was marked red with what was later identified as Lauren's blood through DNA testing. The packaging for the exact same hacksaw was found in Stephen's apartment. When confronted with the evidence, he took a plea deal to avoid the death penalty and was rendered a life sentence without the possibility of parole. He is currently
Hello,
being
Force,
held at the
this
high
is Abuji
security...
again. I'm happy to say I got a raise at my job, and now I make $1.25 per month. So it only took me 8 months to be able to write you this. Last time I hit the limit and could not finish my message. But this time...
Hancock State Prison in Sparta, Georgia. One of the more discussed elements to the present day is the motive behind the crime. What was the reasoning behind Stephen's actions that night? He asserts that murder was never his intention, but simply the result of momentary panic
We'll
and
never know,
confusion,
shit.
all preceded by the foolish
next
decision
year.
to break into an apartment, which stemmed from a potent yet harmless infatuation with a girl he found attractive. He essentially tried to make out that his behavior was devious and calculating, but not evil or perverted. Public opinion on the matter varies, yet the general consensus is that the murder was premeditated, mainly due to the fact that he had bought the hacksaw just days prior to the murder. A popular psychological viewpoint takes us back to the personality of a stalker. Lauren was set to move out the very same day she was murdered, which brings some to believe that Stephen was terrified by the notion of change, that the person he had been infatuated with and fantasized over for so long was no longer going to be a part of his life. And no matter how obscure and unreciprocated their association was, he couldn't bear the thought of losing her. Rather than Lauren going on to live the promising life that lay ahead of her and leaving Stephen behind as a forgotten memory, he has now in some abstract manner connected them both forever.
It's
good to be back. Hope
it's scary being a girl. Sometimes, I guess.
Don't smash it.
All the psychos are fucking men. Yeah. Forsen looking at you.
Mr. Force, do you know why you are here?
I can't wait.
No. Did you live alone?
No.
So you stream for months and months and never show anyone else in the stream?
Yes.
Did you kill Nina?
No. She's just unlucky.